it gets to be safe. There we go. Oh, jeez. I'm getting there, aren't I? You'd think I'd got the hang of it by now, but apparently not. All right. I'm going to call to order this in-person public meeting of the Planning Board, Zoning Board of Adjustment of Flemington Borough, Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at 7:06 p.m. Apologies for the late start. This in-person and virtual meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Both adequate and electronic notice of this in-person and virtual meeting has been provided by way of publication as required. In addition, the meeting was posted on the door of the Borough of Flemington Municipal Building located at 38 Park Avenue and any handicapped accessible entrances thereto. Posted on the municipal website, provided to the municipal clerk and distributed to all persons of any requesting copies of the same. This meeting is being recorded with both audio and video and may be rebroadcast. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to the issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in making a decision, and decorum of the judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. Please rise as you are able for the flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We can hear you. It's very strange. Yeah, I switched it on, but I don't know. I had to set it up, not Carla, so I must have done something in the wrong. No, it's okay. I'm glad you're here. For one day, you're late. I'm here. I'm happy you're here. All right. You have a list of the roles you could do the roll call for me. Oh, before we do that, let me introduce Caitlin. Hoy. H-O. Hoy. 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 Okay. Hoy. Welcome. I'm so excited. Would you mind taking the roll first, please? I know.
Here. Here, Mr. Campion.
Oh, he's excused because of plowing. Yes.
His place. Here.
She's there somewhere. She's on.
Yes, she is on.
She just needs to unmute herself, Melissa, please. Just say it again.
Here.
There she is. Thank you.
Mr. Show.
I think that was me. I'm here. It's very hard to hear.
All right.
Yes, good.
Here, God.
Here.
Mr. Apple.
Here, if you bring the mic closer to her.
Yeah,
might
this
help.
mic super close. Hopefully it's on.
Okay.
What do you want me to do?
No.
Because
The sound system is working.
yeah, we're going out to them, but we couldn't hear them this way. So I basically put this up volume and then we can just hear them through this.
I'll figure this out.
I know, I don't know what I did. Yeah. Yeah, and all the professional Miss Kaczynski is
Here.
Mr. Clerico.
all those are excused because there was nothing on the agenda for them. All right. Yes. Yes. Save the public money by not having them sit through listening to us Twitter. All right, thank you. So first item on the agenda, as always, is a period for public comments. This is for comments on anything that is not on the current agenda, please. If anybody has any comments, please on Zoom use the raise hand feature. There is nobody in the room. So seeing none, I'll move on to item 2, mayor comments, please.
My only comment is that the 2 ordinances that came before the planning board at the last meeting for consistency review were just passed last night.
Can the mayor hold the mic closer to her? It's hard for us to hear.
Yeah.
Is that better?
It's,
That's
see,
connected.
that's connected here. Hmm.
Okay.
Is that better, Karen?
So
It's a
both-
little better.
There's something else.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, both of
Well, I
them-
switched
There
some-
you go. Perfect. Whatever you did, that's great.
She just leaned
I
really.
just leaned in. We haven't fixed this problem, sorry.
Turn that on.
So both of them.
It's the mic from your laptop. I have a feeling that's what it is that we're hearing, because we can hear Jeff and Karen really well.
But we still have to do the resolutions tonight. But Kara gave
Perfect.
permission and discussed it with Chris Corsini, the borough attorney, that it was okay to proceed that way. Okay,
Did you mute that? Mute that?
This right
Okay, and you can remote folks here?
But they can't speak.
Yes.
Try now.
Kara, try talking.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Okay, that's fixed.
Great. Perfect.
We could always hear them, we just couldn't. I'm sorry. They could
Volume
always hear
on the
us.
TV.
We could-
There you go.
Dennis, start talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My Gideon.
And that is why paid too much money to college.
See?
Can't
Not-
hear chambers.
Oh, my.
Told you,
goodness.
I told you,
something to
blame the technology.
That's probably the tech. Yeah.
Tech. Alright,
Somebody turned it down on you.
Yep.
So,
So having said all that, I missed all your mad comments. I
again,
was so was that it?
Oh,
The ordinances?
yes, that's it. So we
Okay.
still have to do the resolutions tonight, but that's it.
Oh, we did the resolution.
No, we haven't approved the resolutions. Kara
Yes,
sent them
we
in.
haven't realised them. We were, and I didn't print it out because we had the wrong date on it, so, as it said, I have to sign it yet, but I'm not supposed to. But the one that got sent through, I got a quick look at, didn't it, at the very end, it was like last September or something. And I apologize, I only noticed that just before I left the house. Okay, let's move on to item 3 in the meantime, council comments, please. Susan, I was saying hello to you earlier, sorry.
And that's fine. I just repeating what the mayor said, the two ordinances moved forward last night, and I just add that there was appreciation for the planning board's input there regarding the off-site parking.
Okay, great, thank you. And hopefully our speed of moving it along too and getting it all back to you, I appreciate that too. All right, item 4, HPC comments. I know Mr. Shobe has some comments today for us.
Yes, so we had a meeting, we approved a new porch at 36 East Main Street. I forwarded these BCC to the planning board, and we also approved a rebuild of the 2-family property at 20 and 22 East Main Street. That was the property that burned down a year ago. We had some conditions, but that was approved also. And then we're definitely hosting a house and garden tour on Saturday, June 6th from 11 to 5. If anyone's interested in helping out, let me know. You get a free ticket if you help out. And later on the agenda, we'll talk about the property list where we just wanted to review minor changes, not changing the historic district or anything. It's more corrections and updating some designations around Courthouse Square. That's it for me.
All right, thanks, Dennis. Item 5, do we have any professional reports? Carry on the other.
And on my end.
All right, great, good to know. All right, item 6, approval of the minutes, January 27th, January the 27th. Regular minutes, they were distributed. Anybody got any comments, questions, additions, and amendments to make on those? Can I get a motion to approve those, please? All right, so Hannah Weitzman. Schlenker. Would you mind calling the roll on that, please, Caitlin?
Mayor Carroll,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Mr. Campion's not present, Ms. Giffen,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzman. Yes. Ms. Swingle,
Yes.
Mr. Shobe,
Yes.
Mr. Schlinger,
Yes.
Mr. Dashna,
Yes.
Mr. Eckel,
Yes.
And that's enough. That's good. That's 9.
okay?
Chair, before you move on, since the Environmental Commission is still not on this agenda until the bylaws are approved, in conjunction with Dennis's announcement with the house tours, I just want to add that the Environmental Commission, maybe Melissa wants to talk about this, is going to hold a cleanup day, focusing on the properties that are going to be on the house tours. Melissa, you want to?
Yeah, we're tentatively aiming for the Saturday. I want to say it's the last weekend in May because the house tour is the first weekend in June. So we're going to aim for that Saturday with the rain date of that Sunday. Our goal is to try to clean up the public areas around the houses and as well as the trolley stops. So
You're accepting volunteers to help.
yes, as it gets closer, it'll be a more formal announcement. We got some things to work out, but yes.
So that's the 30th or the 31st, not Memorial Day weekend.
Correct.
Right.
Got it.
Memorial Day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Excellent. All right, so the minutes were approved, right, we've got that, and we go to item 7 is the public hearing for Spark Car Wash LLC application 2025-02, that is adjourned. Did we get the,
March 10th. Yes, that was the request.
they just submitted some new stuff, right, I think we saw that?
They did. Yep. It should have come to everyone by way of a link. There's a number of documents. So may take a little while to review before the next meeting.
Did we? I don't remember Stephen.
No, I think it just came through, so I just saw it, like, you'll have to look at that when you get into your email. Something came in from Spark Car Wash, and all these distributed reports.
But it's enough time for the professional review, right, Eric?
I mean, I'm assuming it's at least 10 days before. Again, it's a significant amount. You'd have to ask Bob and Jim and Jay. You know, and if they need more time, they'll let us know as we get closer. I can certainly check in with them. I'll make a note after this meeting. I'll shoot around an email. And Caitlin, just really quickly, welcome. We're so very happy you're here. And let's touch base so we can kind of talk about, you know, with everybody, you know, putting these on the website and sending them out and all that kind of stuff. I know you're, you know, well versed in what you need to do. But if you have any questions just about how the borough does it, I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
Yeah, that just came through this morning, so we can talk to Carl. She can help me like how to send it through to everybody and who needs to be on it as soon as you can on your email.
Okay.
We'll try and get that done tomorrow. And like I said, Cara is offered any help you need.
Great.
Please feel free. All right, so having said that, that is adjourned to that date, no further notice required. Item 8, resolution 2026-09 was distributed, I believe, memorializing consistency with the determination of the ordinance, the council ordinances as listed on the agenda. Anybody got any queries with the memorialization resolution?
Karen, I saw the date that needs to be changed. I'll change that after tonight's meeting and recirculate for execution.
Thanks, it was just the one at the very end, right?
Yep.
I was like, print it off, and I'm like, it's pointless because it's a long date on it, so.
And for that matter, we might want to change the secretary to the actual new secretary.
Yes,
Yep, since she's here, I could certainly do that.
and we did do a resolution for her, so you know, all officially resolved.
I think we did that at the last meeting, didn't we?
Yeah, so she's official, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
And then with those changes, I'll move.
Who was the second?
Weitzman. So Dashna and Weitzman.
Thank
Got
you.
it, okay.
Mayor Carroll,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Ms. Giffen,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzman,
Yes.
Ms. Swingle,
Yes.
Mr. Schob.
Yes.
Mr. Schlanger,
Yes.
Mr. Dashna,
Yes.
Mr. Eckel.
And that's
Yeah,
actually it.
yes.
Don, I don't think you were there. And neither was Mr.
Okay.
Hain or Mr. Pavers. So I think we're okay just with Jeff being the last vote.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, and Board, we finally, late this afternoon, were able to finalize, some questions concerning the St. Mag's resolution. I did not get a chance to circulate it to everybody. The applicant's counsel is on right now. All of our professionals have reviewed and agreed on the language, but you haven't seen it yet. So it's up to you. I have it prepared. We could certainly take a vote and adopt it, or we could put it on for the next agenda for memorialization, so you guys can take a look. It's up to you.
Right, I have council is actually, has his hand raised, is it appropriate for him to comment at this time?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Do I need to step down or can I sit?
Just sit here.
You just listen. I mean, Mr. Carroll, I promoted you to be able to talk, I believe. You wanted to make a comment?
Yes, hi everyone. Ted Carroll, attorney in Flemington, New Jersey with the Gruenberg Law Office, here on behalf of the applicant. With respect to the resolution before the board tonight, my office has no further comment.
Okay. But as we haven't seen the resolution, I feel more comfortable if we vote on this next time, or does everybody feel that we can just vote on memorializing that?
I would rather see it before we vote on
That's
it,
what I was thinking, yeah.
but Mr. Carroll, is there any reason why if we move next meeting, it's gonna be a problem for your client? I guess would be the only question.
Yeah, that's a great question, thank you.
The only thing is just for the interest of time in securing the approval of by memorializing the resolution and the extension of the period in which the 45-day period in which anybody could appeal, and then finally my client would go to secure the other necessary approvals for the construction. That's the only concern that I would have in mind.
You just lost Carol.
Did we?
Uh-huh.
All right, just a minute, Mr. Carroll, we just lost Cara on here, so I don't feel.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind waiting.
All right, the thing must have dropped. Having heard what you said, though, I don't feel comfortable.
I don't either.
And we haven't seen the wording, just in case, so we will.
I understand that. That is just what my concern would be on behalf of my client. The board can choose however they want to take.
Right, but just know it will definitely be on the next agenda.
Of course.
By the time the world thaws out.
Oh gosh, I don't know, I'm not having that much hope.
That's what I'm saying. It's just they have a long week.
I took a photo of my backyard on Sunday morning on purpose to say there was grass here for like one day. One day I saw it, it's gone again. All right, I'm just messaging Cara to say, where are you? We lost you. What do you want you back? She can call me.
She can absolutely call me.
Yeah. Just like, she got kicked off, she's trying to get back in. Oh, let me back in again. Glasses on the head, camera plan, here we go, here she is. Phoning in. Pop up any moment. There she is.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, Jen.
Kara, turn your video off, it'll work better.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah. If
You froze. Oh, there you are.
All right,
Turn your-
there we go.
off, Kara.
Not that we don't want to see you, but apparently it might work better.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Okay.
There we go.
All right.
There's a consensus that we're gonna wait to read the resolution.
So what was that? I'm sorry.
I said there's a consensus to wait so that we can all see the resolution rather than voting on it tonight.
that's fine. I heard the end of Karen's dialogue with Ted, so that's fine. I'll circulate that as soon as we get off and everybody can take a look at it.
Perfect, thank you very much. Having said that, we'll move on to what's it, the promote.
We can remove permission to talk.
I'm gonna move on to item 9, which very simply just says vote on bylaws. That wasn't quite what I meant to say, but there it is in writing. So now, the bylaws were distributed and we had a discussion last meeting. Did everything that we got discussed last time, does anybody have any further discussion on those? Or are we okay with getting this moving, finally voted on? Now, Cara, these, if I remember rightly, these get, when we say just vote on bylaws, it's a majority of the current board, isn't it? That we can move them with.
That is correct, and I did make the changes that were discussed at the last meeting.
Right.
And wanted to obviously give everyone the opportunity, and I did recirculate it too. So if there is any more dialogue or any other questions, we can certainly do that. And just so you know, in the meantime, we don't have to necessarily wait for the bylaws to be revised in order to include another section on our agenda. This isn't an ordinance, so the board and the chair still has the discretion to amend the agenda accordingly to add whatever it likes. But I did incorporate the changes. The list of agenda items in the bylaws mirrors what we have on our agenda right now, adding in Environmental Commission and just incorporating mayor and council comments under, I think it's governing body comments, along with the other changes.
I thought we were gonna leave mayor and council
As they were.
as they were.
Yep, that's what we talked about last week.
Yeah, and they are there. They're just under governing body, A, mayor, B, council. So they're there. It's just under. So if you want me to change it back, I could do that too.
I don't care, I just think it's kind of silly.
Anybody else have a strong feeling about it? Just leave it as it is, or put it as governing body with the 2 subsets? Nobody else? No.
Technically, the mayor is not the governing body. The mayor is the
Yeah.
mayor and the governing body is the governing body. So it's
So-
grammatically incorrect.
That is true, in a borough form of
In a
government.
borough form of government, right?
So if we're
So why don't we just keep it as mayor comments and council comments and leave it alone?
Yeah.
That is fine.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Well, bro.
And as Cara said, we'll move forward with using that format for the next time. It's added in the Environmental Commission basically that we've got to do, but the bylaws also added in some things about timing and things like that. Just look some little tweaks. So
There's a couple of things in here where like, and it may just because I'm looking at it on the iPad, I just wanna make sure, Kara, like. Just one that I noticed was like, this might be because of track changes and stuff like that. Like if I look between section 5 and 6, there's a parenthetical and it says add in new notice requirements. Under public meeting, section 5 on page 8. And then, there's another thing after, where am I? There's some other one, the beginning of section 13, order of presentation, dawn to work on revising. Like are those, is that just because of the way I'm looking at it, or is that actually, or are those actually, do we need to clean those up?
Well, I can tell you that the part about the notice that is okay as is because of how we reference the Open Public Meetings Act, and that's basically covers everything at this point. So I could take out that add in new notice requirements. Last time we met as a collective group, I think there were going to be some more changes to section 13. I don't know if there still needs to be, if anybody feels that's necessary. It may have just been to section out each one of the subsections so it's a little more easily read. But when Kim reformats, I can have her do that so we don't really have to make any other changes to that section, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the committee wasn't envisioning something else there that we didn't get to yet, that's all.
Again, I don't think so. I think that section was just, he was going to work on that just to section it out. But I don't want to speak for him. Don's on, so I'll let him discuss.
Yeah, I think that was the intention, but we never got to it. But for the sake of time, I think we should proceed with the current version.
But we can clean it up and make it look pretty, right, without it being another revote, right, Kara?
Right, I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, that was the intention anyway, because there's, in the red line, it's not lined up perfectly. I'll make that change, taking out governing body comments and just leaving it as mayor and council. And I even have a note there, read letter accordingly. So yeah, when she does that, we'll just have her clean up that as well.
Okay. So with those bracketed removals, the time, just tidying up.
This is
The work of it.
formatting nonsense. It's nothing serious. That's
Right.
substantive.
Then, gonna get a motion to, gosh, I can't think of the word. Approve.
Oh, wait. There is this, I'm sorry, I caught one thing, sorry.
Wait, no.
Article 2, Section 7 just says acting secretary with a comma. I think we need to there was some language there, I'm sure at some point, that comes out of the MLUL, that acting secretary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's empty.
You know why? I think that might have been because we wanted to have a discussion about whether or not we even wanted one. I mean, you have the ability to appoint a board member to serve as acting secretary. We haven't really done that in the past, since we have the position as a formal position in the borough. So that can just come out in its entirety.
But we did, Kara, we did. When Eileen originally left us and we didn't have anybody, Melissa Swingle stepped in to sign documents for us.
That is true. We did that by way of just our appointment. We didn't do it in. Well, true. That was out of necessity, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But let me ask this: if we remove it here from the bylaws, we're still allowed to, on an ad hoc basis.
Correct. Which is what we had done in the past. Yep.
Okay. So leaving it here would okay. So we've got appointment of officers here in Article 2 section. I'm sorry, Article section whatever this is, but now 7. So if we take it out, we can still appoint somebody as we need them. If we put it in, it means we're gonna have to elect an acting secretary, which I don't think was our intention.
No.
Our intention.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we leave it in, and I'll say to be appointed by the board as and if necessary.
Okay.
We can, but I mean, we could also just take the line out because it's allowed for under MLUL, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think that was the intention. Just take it out. Leave it more flexible.
All right, so then that comes out, and then under section 5, admin secretary duties, do we want to just put as directed by the board and the MLUL?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, which article?
So in the same spot above acting chairperson, again, this is why the formatting is a little off. It says section 5, administrative secretary duties. There's just 3 words, but nothing else. So I think that we do need to appoint, we do need to have it filed, like as you said.
And we have that previously in section 2.
Right. So if we have it in section 2.
This is just duties.
Oh, this is just the duties of that person.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it was when the board was going through this, they wanted to have a separate duty section for each one. So that's where this kind of came out. And I think we just really never got around to expanding on what that would be. And at least from an admin secretary situation, I mean, I think you do want to leave that open and flexible, because you want to be able to establish what they are, and the MLUL establishes certain things. So I think it's fine to leave it open-ended, in general, but it's up to you.
What was the line you said before?
As directed by the board and required by the MLUL.
Works for me.
Yeah. There does seem to be a few little bits like that though. Do we feel more comfortable if we can, I know I hate to put this off again.
I completely agree with you,
Tidy
Karen.
it up completely.
How's this? Can we get the formatting cleaned up
Please.
and then recirculate one more time for us to see it formatted right? Because I think that'll highlight if there's problems.
And that's fine. And maybe if everybody on the committee could take another look too, so we've got some other sets of eyes on it, with everybody and just kind of report back to me ahead of time if there was something that was missed that we talked about. And then I'll reformat it, circulate it to everybody and reformat it. So let's just be clear, leave the red line, but just reformat it so everything lines up properly and all of that is done, correct?
So I'm gonna, could I make a suggestion?
Yes, please. And I do
her-
apologize. We did this as a Google Doc. That's never been my strong point. It's been my first experience with it. So I think that's probably part of the reason why it's a little more disjointed than a track change document.
Track change is much easier in Word. So
Much easier.
If I could ask, could you clean it up, send us the red line, but also send a second file which hides the red line and just a clean copy of the final proposed one so that we can see it. And that may be an easy way to find if there's any small little glitches like this.
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks, Cara. I appreciate that. We'll do that.
Yep, no problem.
We can still amend the agenda to add the things and move forward with that as the next meeting without delaying. All right, thank you guys.
Hey, just quick question.
Yeah.
I know last time we talked just with the sign stuff, what is that? Where do we leave off with that?
What do you mean?
We were just gonna,
Reviewed it?
the sign stuff, we were
What do you mean by the same?
just through
So the
email,
sign committee,
yes.
when it went, like say we approved the sign just so the rest of the board, so that the secretary is gonna email that out to
Yes,
blind CC everybody?
when it's.
Oh,
approved.
right, so the board knows.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're
Just so
gonna
that
have
we
a
don't,
report on it, yeah.
Yeah,
not
we
that,
weren't gonna have a report necessarily.
it.
but
No,
just
because that's
follow through with the email afterwards.
that's not like the environmental commission, that's that's a committee of this. That can just come in and
Yeah, we're not
guide
gonna
item
bring it
and
in.
just
Yeah.
report, yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. All right. Everybody else good?
Yep.
Excellent. Let's move on then. Dennis, a big moment. Item 10. A discussion I've written. I don't know whether we need to do a vote. I'm not quite sure what we actually need to do for your process to move forward. But Dennis, could you introduce what you need?
Sure. Just to give everyone a little background, the Hunterdon County got a grant last year to update the historical property inventory for the county. The last time it was done was 1979. And so they came looking for volunteers. And then the quantity of properties in 1979 that were on the inventory were 381. So they came looking for people that were going to go around and take pictures of each of the properties that were on the inventory. There were 4 people that worked that. Once we were done with that, we said, you know what? It doesn't cover all of the significant and contributing properties that are on our historic list. We have 557 that are significant or contributing. So we said, let's do the other 180. There were 180 that were excluded. We said, you know what, let's do that so we can say we did everything. And we did all that. There's really one person that did most of it, but that was done. So all of the significant contributing properties that are on a list got included except one. One resident did not want to be included. So we did all that. When you're doing that, you're putting in the address and everything. We identified there were some corrections that need to be made. Nothing to the district boundary, none of that. But there were some properties, either the address was wrong or some of the properties were demolished. And so I can share the list. There's probably 20 items that I can go through really quick. But when we had brought it up, Beth at the time had said, I think that the planning board just wanted to see, especially around Courthouse Square, there's a couple properties that are now demolished, like Flemington Firs. So that's listed on the property. Also the hotel, which is historic, but the designation is now significant, but also I think it's hotel non-contributing because of the new part in the back. So I can share the list. There's just highlighted rows that I can go through real quick if you'd like. But we want to just post it on our website. The listing that's out there is old, and all we want to do is update what's on there. So if someone looked at it, they're looking at the current listing.
How, guys,
Would you like me
question.
to just, yeah,
Then
yeah.
how does a resident whose house is designated on our list refuse to be on the list?
So, yeah, that's a good question. Originally, people got postcards in the mail. The county had mailed out. I know I got it and I filled it out. So the county mailed out postcards, and you would go online and fill in and take pictures of your property. But you could also submit that you did not want to be included. After that was out, maybe a week or two, they decided they were not going to do that. So that's when they wanted volunteers to do the work. So that person that didn't want to be on it, they had already gone on and said, we don't want to be included in the inventory. So it was one person but that's how it happened, Marcia. Because otherwise we were just walking up in front of the houses, taking pictures. We had some people come out and ask, what are you doing? They didn't have problems with it. Generally, if people were outside their house, we would go back. We wouldn't do it while they were there. But so that's how that one, they had submitted in advance of the county going a different route.
But what does that do to our official list that they are in it?
No, they just didn't want to be part of the county effort. That's all it was. They just said, I don't want to be part of the inventory effort. They're still on the list. They're on our list.
Am I right in thinking that you basically done two things here? You've submitted information to the Huntingdon County inventory that they asked to be updated, and they didn't want to do the work of sending postcards out. You guys did it instead, so that you submitting that to the county. But in doing that, you've noticed that our property list is incorrect and needs to be updated for our district. Is that right? So that's the bit you're asking us to do. People send their information to the county is their business on their list, right? But in terms of our list to our district, you just want to tidy up the list to address the properties that were incorrectly addressed and remove some that have now been demolished.
That's right.
Cara, my question for you is, in terms of when we do that, does that need anything more formal than us just saying, okay, that's great, the list's updated, or do we need to do anything? It's not changing the map of the district, but there is a list associated with it that needs to be updated.
Yeah, so Beth and I pulled my information from the end of last year. Beth and I had talked about this, and we came up with 4 separate actions, I guess. Changes to the list. Her thought was, and I tend to concur, don't need to be part of this quote unquote public process because they're not part of the historic map or the historic element per se. Changes meaning corrections of an address, things of that nature. We also agreed that the process didn't seem to be necessary to go through if we're just identifying a demolished site and therefore removing it from the list, because that's not technically a designation. Where we had a question was situations where there's already been a designation and we're amending the designation. And the reason for, that pause, let's say, is there is a section of the ordinance that talks about amendments to historic landmark or historic district designations, which shall be made in the same manner as they were adopted. So the mindset being, if we needed a process, hearing, whatever the procedure is, in order to designate something as contributing, then it may be necessary to do that, to designate it as significant, just by way of example. I'd like to I don't know if anything has happened or any thoughts have changed since we had that dialogue the end of last year. I'd like to check with Jim and just see his thoughts. But that, to me, would be the only circumstance under which we would have to take any other action. And I'm truly hoping that we can avoid doing that and look at this in a different way. But I really would like to run that past Jim and get his thoughts.
Right, but then Dennis' question is, are there any such properties like that? You're not changing, are you changing from anything?
So the hotel, yeah, so the hotel was significant contributing, that's 74 Main Street. Now we're saying it's significant, non-contributing, historic, and contemporary because of the new hotel. That's John Hatch, so that was the main one and that's when we talked about it previously, it was, let's just talk about the ones with Courthouse Square. Then on Spring Street, there's 2 properties that were demolished, and it's just listing those as demolished. So there's nothing really that's changing other than some corrections. And so we're hoping that we can get this thing, this is from like October of last year.
Quick question. The corrections you made on that map, with the exception of the courthouse, the new hotel, by saying it's non-contributing also, it's based on the already approved map, right? From September of last year?
Yeah.
It's like the map already reflected a contributed property.
Right.
Property. It's just that the list itself was
exactly
not
the map. You're absolutely right. The map reflected
already
everything.
Approved all this. It's really just correcting the listing.
The list. That's all it is. The map. There's no change to the map.
Well, again, it's not, except for that one, I think, because correcting the list to reflect corrections to addresses or removing some because they've been demolished. Again, that's why I want to run this past Jim and see if he's still of the same thought process that Beth was, because changing of a designation, and from what Dennis had just said, significant, contributing to, that whatever else it was that you said for the hotel, that is different than just changing the list. That's technically changing an amendment to a designation.
Well, if the designation was already approved in the map, then I would argue that it's nothing more than an administrative update to it's not actually a change. It's just was an inaccuracy. Now, if you look at, like, for example, the vacant lot on Church Street, 19 Church Street, the site was vacant for the longest time. Now it was approved. Shouldn't it be maybe part of that process of approval that we now create the designation, or do we have to go back through? Like, that became vacant with no designation. Now it's non-contributing contemporary. And the only other changes I see is Brown Street being demolished. I mean, and
that's because of the Liberty Village. Those 2 that were as part of that redevelopment. That's what that one is. That address.
So from Cara's point, if she can check that down, it's like a change of the hotel designation. Check that with Jim, and whether that might be just the only one that needs something different, but the rest should sail through fine. If he says that one doesn't need anything either, Can the list just be updated, Cara, without any further public, anything? We can just update it and change it.
That's certainly the goal. I mean, it's very obvious that this should go through and is, you know, I don't want to say not a big deal, but it's making it accurate. But again, we're shoehorned in with the language of the ordinance. So, and this is, like I said, the last time this was discussed, this is how Beth had interpreted it. And that's what I have here in an email. So I just want to talk to Jim and, you know, see if he agrees or if we have some flexibility, which I hope we do.
Sure. Jeff has a question for you.
Yeah, just so, and this is the other thing, because several of these parcels were connected with Courthouse Square redevelopment area and the Liberty Village redevelopment area, in the redevelopment plans adopted by council and the redeveloper agreements, but most of the plans, I know for sure there was discussion of historic preservation issues around Courthouse Square. I don't know what the language was in the Liberty Village one, I don't remember, but like there may be the language, because those had hearings and they were adopted and there was a process of the languages in the redevelopment plan. This may solve the problem on those parcels. So you might want to check the language in both of those redevelopment plans.
Meaning, Jeff,
Meaning
that
there was a public process already to deal with the fact that parcels on Brown Street that had been listed are now demolished because that was part of the plan for Liberty Village.
And I know on that one, the HPC had responded on that we had acknowledged that that building was going to be knocked down. So I know we had responded during that review, acknowledging that building was going to be knocked down.
What I'm saying is that the redevelopment plans themselves may include, because those were both public hearings, they may include adequate language to have satisfied the public process, that even if we have to go that route, it may have already been done.
Yeah.
I'll take a look, Jeff.
All right. So thanks. So Cara, if you and Jim can just confirm that. And,
yep.
And then let us know how if there's anything else we need to do to process that. Really, it sounds like maybe we don't have to do anything more formal than just confirm.
Moving forward, to avoid this problem in the future, we should be looking to during those public hearings, to Dennis's point, that we should be designating that at the time of site plan approval, at the public process. Now, they may not match exactly what the designation labels are used in the map, but maybe they should. Certainly demolition is already there.
You mean if one's changed or demolished, yeah.
Right, and even with a HPC approval for a vacant lot now becoming contemporary, maybe in that resolution we quantify it there. So again, we're not having to go a second time for a public hearing for a vacant lot going to contemporary or vice versa. But I see with Kara's point is if you're taking a contemporary property and making it significant where it's got potentially negative impact to the homeowner, then obviously there needs to be some public due justice, public
in that case, yeah, I don't think that's happening in this case for sure.
It's not. So, that's another way of looking at it. If you're downgrading something, it's got no negative impact to the homeowner. So does it require a public hearing or not? So I guess that's your third condition. I don't know.
Well, it was an issue that we felt, but because it wasn't currently included on the map, because the introduction of the new map had been delayed, it was allowed to be taken down without anything happening. If the map that we put through had been in place before that decision was made, it would not have been allowed to be demolished.
Right.
So that's the important point. You can't just downgrade ones after when they come through. It's not just a matter of the resolution saying it. It can't happen because of the HPC requirement.
Right.
Yeah, you have to look at the procedures that are in there. It's a little more involved than just addressing it at the planning board level, because there does need to be review by the HPC. But, to Don's point, if it's raised as an issue during a hearing, maybe there is some way that when we get an HPC report and they have their discussion on it, they could put in there, we recommend that it be downgraded, upgraded, whatever. So then they've satisfied that portion. And there's some way we can incorporate. I mean, it's worth looking at. So we're not in this situation and constantly making changes that require this extensive process, after the fact. So it's definitely worth looking at, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And other than the ones with the redevelopment agreements changed those processes in some ways because they were encapsulated within those redevelopments because it changed the HPC in
Well,
part.
this is
But
where-
the other buildings in the.
This is where the language of the redevelopment plans make sense, because if the language in the redevelopment plans, we're definitely all the way down the road, but like, if it doesn't, there was the Union Hotel one, it had some very explicit language about HPC review.
Mhm.
And that was part of what the governing body had adopted.
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm saying like that, but I don't know if that supersedes the other sections of the ordinance or not, in terms of historic designation. Like, that's why Kara's gotta talk to
Right.
Jim about this.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I don't think it did, because the governing body removed HPC's
Mhm.
review of the plan, but SHPO still required it to
Uh-huh,
come down to
Right.
Trent.
that's what I'm saying, so I don't know.
And there was still, the historic guidelines were still in that that redevelopment plan. But I'm also speaking just in general of all site plans and all reviews, right? So we're avoiding this,
Right.
I'm not just talking about redevelopment. And maybe an adjustment to the ordinance, so we're a little bit more flexible in that regard. I mean, certainly a change in,
Flexible, I mean, it's already in that my point I was trying to make was that the redevelopment agreement is something special because it changes.
yeah, but we don't get that all the time.
Whereas
Right? We
right
get more
now,
site plans.
every other building in town is covered by the HPC ordinances and everything that was set up and what needs to be done in terms of
Right,
their
but-
requirements and SHPO, so
Right.
that's covered, we don't need to be changing anything.
No,
We
but
just need
let's-
to remember to,
right.
in the public.
That's not the issue. Yeah. I'm not-
Make sure that we think about if that might be a possibility, it's just something for us all to
Yep.
remember to include in our public hearing question.
And for the HPC review of a development application.
Yeah.
So that's a part of it, like my house is not significant, it's just, but it's contributing because it's in the digital on Main Street, right?
Mhm.
If I wanted to, I don't know, put a 10-story addition on the top of my house, which is never gonna happen, but whatever, like, it would change the district, it would have to get HPC approval, we just make sure that process would include
The
the
designation.
Redesignation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so that is just something for us to remember the future. It shouldn't, it doesn't affect what we need to do with this list now. I'd like, so as regards what we want to do with this list in now that Dennis's team have put together is Cara and Jim are gonna review it, make sure whether we need to do anything different with those properties we talked about, and then let us know how we then can incorporate the changes to the list formally, what the process needs to be. Hopefully it's just simple and saying, yes, change the list, here it is.
So, just a question is, regarding how do we handle it in the future? How do we, if we decide that we're gonna ask that question as part of that review process, how do we ensure it happens? Like, is there?
I was gonna take back to the HPC that when we're making comments, if for some reason it was changing the designation to include that in the comments back to the planning board, would that work?
Yep.
Yeah.
Put it right in the resolution.
Yeah,
The
yeah, so
recommendation is,
and it's
yeah.
gonna be rare, but we'll make that part of our process. Yeah.
Well, and again, let's look detailed at, if Jim and I come down that change does require compliance with the ordinance, then how do we make the HPC's consideration of a application and recommendations via the memo we get compliant with that process? Does it have to be at a public hearing that the public's attending? Can it be by a smaller group? And I'm just picking things out of the air, but I think it's a good idea to address it. But if we're going to avoid the need for future action, let's make sure that it complies with all the requirements that are in the ordinance.
Right. And historic preservation it's a public hearing. The applicant's there. So it's a good fluid, organic way of handling this, so we don't have it in the future. That's what but I agree with you.
But Don, there's instances, wait a minute, there's ones where they come to us but then the planning board also asks us for
There's a couple ways of-
HPC input,
correct.
so they would not be going to an HPC meeting. We would provide input, and then that would be the other vehicle too, right?
Right, but you also make reviews to
Checklist,
site plan
just-
applications today, so it still works. You know, during the review of the
Yeah.
site plan application, you say, HPC's recommendation is that the consideration is that this property moves from significant to non-contributing historical contemporary, right? So it still works. I'm just thinking of how we can be a little bit more efficient, you know, as a local state government, where we're not wasting
Tara,
time, keep
is-
going
is-
back and forth
is
on
there-
these lists.
Kara, is it a requirement that an HPC member be on the planning board by ordinance of this town?
Yes.
Okay,
Covered then.
all right, then it's covered, so we don't need to put it in our checklist.
Well, when we have a public hearing, Dennis is on the planning board and he makes sure that he raises the issue and we make sure it's discussed.
Yep.
If a building is only, is on the list.
Yeah, I think though we're going around in circles here.
Yeah.
Because what we're saying is there's never a situation where the HPC is not given an opportunity to review one of, at least at this point, we've come a long way. But there's never a situation where the HPC doesn't have the opportunity to review one of our applications and make comments, same as the Environmental Commission. What we're talking about is if when that happens, the recommendation, either through Don or in a memo, is that we make the change in the designation, and Jim and I figure out that this public hearing process has to occur with the commission in order to make that designation. Then what would need to happen is when they review an application that the planning board is sending to them, that action would need to take place during one of their public meetings, not just in a memo. That's what I'm getting at. So, you know, it wouldn't be enough, you know, just for Dennis to come here and say, oh, this is our recommendation, because that wouldn't, if it just came from him and wasn't the result of a public meeting in accordance with the ordinance, that wouldn't be sufficient. If it is, then that's great. I'm just saying we have to make sure that that procedure happens and isn't just a recommendation from, you know, Dennis during a meeting. Does that make sense?
Correct.
can you
That's
set
what I
that
was, right.
What we'll have to do.
We can get there. Let's get the answer to the question first.
Yeah, thank you.
We can get
And
there.
then you'll let me know then.
Yep, absolutely. I'll let everybody know.
thank you.
And if I have a feeling we may have a question or two, Dennis, so we'll reach back out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. Let's move on to item 11, chair items. The only one I want to raise is I just wanted to check. I know Jim's not on, but the housing element committee. Do you have a date to meet?
I think we finally said we're on a date about 2 hours ago. It'll be,
Went through everyone's availability, we found one date.
one date, one time,
Okay.
so it's March 6th at 9 AM.
Okay. Thank you.
So, and I think I've got 1 hour, so for an open meeting. Maybe an hour and 15
You're gonna
minutes.
be efficient.
But yeah, with all the dates and times that Jim sent out, we have
One.
One.
Yeah.
one.
All right, well, it's got one. That's awesome. Thank you. Look forward to hearing about that when you're ready. All right, so let's move. Unless anybody has anything else they want to raise up in this item.
The only thing I just wanted just to put out there is that I'm, I know we've got Spark is on the 10th, on the 24th. I may not be here the 24th, just so you know.
Okay.
And if I am, it'll be remote.
Okay.
Just put that out there.
On that note, I will not be here March 24th.
Oh, gosh, we better check on that.
This is why I'm bringing it up.
Well, yeah, we have quite a lot of alternates now, so hopefully one of those will be up.
Was a meeting that you were gonna miss?
The 10th.
Okay, well, I think we should be all right.
Mark sharpening his promotions.
Yes.
I'll add in chair items. I kind of did it ad hoc earlier, but welcome Caitlin. Very excited everyone. Caitlin has also agreed to our report. We're going to work on that. Maybe Cara, we can help Caitlin with that report we have to do. to pull together
The end of
the
year.
end of year report.
Yep, for sure.
Talked earlier, we'll work on it, you can assist her with that also. And also, I realised what we didn't do is an updated members, PB members list, contact list. So I'll send you the old one and we'll update that, because then we can get you on it when you get your formally in it and we know what the address is, so that you have everybody's contact info. So Mark, can you make sure to send that to Caitlin as well to get her stuff, yours, the new member? But we can make sure that the list of members is all up and running. And everyone remember, when we do have Caitlin's information, she's available after office hours. So just send her and she will respond as she's able, when she's able. We're very excited to have you on board.
So at the moment, you don't have an email address for me to send it to you. But I guess as soon as you get it, if you want to just let me know and then I'll send it to you. I also have to get my email set up. I'm having some issue there, but we'll get it.
Please do. I know when you first do it, there's that authenticator thing for the first time.
That's fine.
Many times, like, oh yeah, we had to do something, but.
It takes over your phone and destroys everything else you have in.
Oh, great, good to know. I didn't.
You could
Looking
only
forward to that.
put it on the one mail, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't put it on my
No.
Outlook.
You guys are making.
That's the authenticator.
So you know, my problem now is I just got a Zoom invitation, I accepted it, but on what where's the calendar?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't find it now.
I'm just racing out.
I'm
to
like,
do this.
what calendar am I
Thank you,
using?
guys.
It's only the mail.
Very excited for.
Well, anybody else that's technologically savvy can tell me why I can't get a number of like outstanding emails that are open on it. I don't know. I need that, and I have to go look for it. Please tell me, please.
Where are they?
Yeah, I'll give a donation to the fireworks fund or something if somebody can help me out. Anybody else
I
have
actually have
anything?
one extra thing,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
items? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did forget to mention at the council comments that we've been doing real good with our newsletter. So if anybody from the planning board has any.
Karen got an invitation to send in or?
I'm sure you did, and I'm just stressing that publicly, you know, to anybody.
What's the planning date again?
March 6th.
Okay, everybody
So-
got an idea what they want me to write about? I'll write about it, no problem.
Yeah, you know, and if you
Yeah.
wanna work on something with
You know-
Karen, happy to help or do that. But like I said, if anybody has any ideas, let's
Once I have a topic, Susan, I can talk about.
I have no doubt.
It's just you and the topic. Yeah.
Well, like I said, you know, it's tough with planning board, it's a little dry, so you know, I get it. It can't be. It can't be. General public, you wanna spice it up a little bit and get their attention, right? So.
Right on, West Willow.
We're gonna, tell them that we're gonna, you know, tear down paradise and put a parking lot there. Meetings of John.
Now, if it was a video, if we had the music thing that people would click on, that would be, gosh, talk about.
But that's
patience,
actually, you know what, maybe that's actually a fun title for, you know, a newsletter article, maybe we talk about the offsite parking, you know,
Yeah, but I don't think that.
But that would be that would be the parking
I don't
committee.
think that is
Yeah.
judicious.
I'm just making jokes.
That's certainly not for anybody.
If anybody thinks of anything, March 6th, please.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
reminder. Item 12, bills, we don't have them yet, because I just like reviewed them, I don't think those, so those.
Yes,
are,
we do.
We got one.
We got
Oh, I'm sorry.
I take issue with one of the bills.
I went through them for Caitlin and listed out some items that were council and not PB. They seem to be getting mixed up these days, so
Yeah,
hopefully we can
it's
get.
bill number, invoice number 6405. There's several items on there that should.
Well, that's all Corsini stuff,
Yeah.
right? Again, that got put now, as I wrote on that whole one is council, that's the whole PO.
Yep.
On that, but in the other one for traffic, that's
Yes.
mixed up too. There were like 3 items for us and 2 items for council in that one. So that's, if you can speak to got her name, is she back? Or Bill, for invoices. Liz, thank you. I know it's 3 letters. I think it was 3 letters in one.
What's the number associated with the traffic?
The purchase order?
One of the very
Plan,
end.
I can hear it, yes.
Yeah, the first 3 items on the PO, I think were hours, and the last 2 are vice versa. No, that's the engineer, that's fine. It's the next one behind that one, I think, Caitlin.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
I just can't pull it up right now.
Right. If you wanna,
I'll see it when I.
if you wanna throw them up,
Okay.
I'll write.
Yep.
Sorry, how should we write that in something? Oh,
Sorry, yeah.
Right, so the first purchase order is for the frames, that's all good. So on 193, that's all PB, that's all PB. And then for purchase order 203, that's all council. And then purchase order 207 is all PB because that's Van Cleef. Oh, no, there's,
No, the Corsini one is the one that's.
oh no, it's McDonald's really then?
Not Rhodes Jet.
No, there we go, yeah, so to 193. Just the JJ, is it JJA, Central and Blessed Wellness are ours, and then the 2 parking committee ones are council. So I wrote that on here inside, I wrote council on the invoices, we can let Liz know that one. Yeah, hopefully we can get that with Liz.
So we're not gonna vote on the bills. We're gonna vote on the bills.
We have to vote on them so they can be paid though, don't we?
You have to audit the bills. You don't actually approve to pay.
Well, if I've ordered.
You can audit, you can
You're right.
audit the planning board's bills,
Right,
assuming that they're accurate, and just not do anything with regard to the ones you were provided that belong to council.
right.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Does everyone feel comfortable with
Sure.
my marking up of
Yes.
which one was which?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. Do we need to?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Mayor Carroll,
Yes.
Councilwoman Engelhardt,
Yes.
Ms. Giffen,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzman,
Yes.
Ms. Swingle,
Yes.
Mr. Schob,
Yes.
Mr. Schlinger,
Yes.
Mr. Dashna,
Yes.
Mr. Eckel.
Yes.
Darling.
Yeah, I'll just go to 9, we'll go, okay, thank you. All right, item 13, Cara, do we have need to go into executive session tonight?
We do not.
Yay! All right, item 14, adjourn, anybody want to move to adjourn?
Motion.
Yes.
That's perfect.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Bye.
right, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Aaron, if you wouldn't mind giving Caitlin my information, that way we can reach out until, before she gets an email.
Absolutely, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye. Bye.